I have taken the topic for democracy versus autocracy.
Okay.
Sir, I will be speaking in favor of democracy because democracy is a form of government where decision is taken by the people who have elected the government, and in that what is there is accountability is there, so that decision making is a different for the people, by the people, and for the people. So it is the involvement of every person, because in the government, what you if you say, from poor, from middle, income, higher group, all are casting their votes, all are involving themselves. That is why then a government is formed. And for democracy, the institutions like press, uh, you can say, judicial system, all those things are required. So that what happen? Sir, you have a question? You can ask, please.
Okay, sir, I have 3 points against the
Yes, sir.
democracy. I'll give you an example
Please.
that Sardar Sarovar Dam was there. It was started by Jawaharlal Nehru, and finally it got the green flag from Mr. Narendra Modi. So this much time a dam took to be completed in a democracy. At the same time, I'll give you the example of China and UAE. Here, like the government is like autocracy. Single party is there, or a king like person is there who is running the country. So there, the pace of development is very fast. In China, we can see in last 30 or 35 years, they have brought themselves like uh, earlier we were considering the world like unipolar. Now we are considering that there are two poles. The first pole is USA and the second pole is China. And the development of UA is already visible to us. So thinking this, I personally feel that uh, autocracy is the best form of the government which can develop the country faster.
Sir, what is your third point, sir?
I think these were 2 points for me.
Or two point. Sir, in order to answer your first point, that is Sardar Sarovar Dam, I've also heard that, but I would say it is one of the exceptions in that. But what is happening in autocracy? All the orders, all the things are governed by the one person, and there is no kind of that involvement of other people. Sometimes it is happen. The process becomes late, process becomes slow, but right things happens because it involves kind of series of inspections, series of things, so that things which are having some flaws and some any kind of mistake, they can be corrected, because in the democracy there is a chance, because it goes through a process. But autocracy, if order is given, these things will not be able to that kind of corrected. So that correction level is not there in the autocracy. And the second question, if you talk about UAE and about China, you may find these things are at a level, growth level, these things are good. But if we talk about what is the uh, your human life index, what is happening, if you say many reports are coming from China, and you that human level basic necessity things are not that much good, because on those levels, those poorer or some there, they are getting poorer, and on the side they are not getting their rights was they are needed for a better human being. And in those countries, what is happening, there is no press. So whatever news we are getting is just because what they want to give us. We don't know the ground reality what it is. And if you talk about in the Lebanon, in Syria, where these things, autocracy was there, these all states are destroyed. You might have heard word Arab Spring. Arab Spring was just came into limelight just because of autocracy was replaced with the atrocities. Many of the atrocities were there to the people. People were so suffering to the corruption, unemployment, all those things. But those people were just believing in that one family, and one part is also there. It comes to then in autocracy, most of the time, what happens? It is a rule of one family. So that what to say, parivarvad becomes a root in that. So that becomes a problem also. So
Uh, if you let me speak, then I can ask certain questions again.
sure, sir, please.
The first point is in democracy as well. In our country, we have seen that single families are ruling for years and years. That is happening over here. So even democracy is also on the same track. talking about the atrocities and the human life index in certain countries is not good. Still, a lot of countries in African region has followed democracy nowadays, but still the problems are saved. Now I'm going to tell you that UAE is a country where autocracy is there, and a large number of people from India. India is a democracy. From here, going for the better life over there, they are going for employment in that country. So it like the things are completely contradictory. That from a democracy, people are going there for employment, and whenever we talk about the development. You talked about the human life index and all these things. So on that, I don't have the perfect data about it, but you can see in China, like a lot of companies from the globe landed over there. They started manufacturing in that country, and that shows that how autocracy brought the won the hearts of the companies. They came to that country and they started manufacturing over there, and that took the development of that country to the next level.
Sir, I would like to start
So
from your.
one question is
Well,
that
sir, yes, sir.
this autocracy has a good decision because one person in the power he can provide the good decision as well as he has a good communication among the people, the good communication chain in the autocracy. And as well as I want to tell you that in the during the West Bengal election, that time the voted was there and that time Trinamool Congress was declared as a winning party. And the same night, the Trinamool Congress tea person, they killed the workers of BJP and their supporters, and they raped the women and killed the persons also in the democracy. But in same way, we will see in the autocracy, it will not happen this type of crisis and this type of crimes.
So thanks for the questions. I would like to start from the answer. So the first question you asked about the that autocracy system is also present in the that Parivarwad is still present into the autocracy. But what is there if we talk about in our country that we are able to talk about that, we are on that platform, that democracy, that we can still talk, and if we are having that kind of power, that kind of will, we can remove those things. Because if you're the Congress, there was things in the BJP, these things are not available. That power is in the hands of the people. If they are seeing that these things are wrong, they can vote, they can dismiss them from the government. After that, things can be followed that. And next point was, sir, if we talk about UAE and all those areas, see, the sample size of population is not that much in the UAE and all those parts. So for them, making a whole of a new thing because they didn't have anything. I I must appreciate the policies of UAE because the way they have made. But still, I will say, in the democracy, what is happening in our country, the sample size is so low. So we cannot just on a uh, what to say population of just our one city, we cannot decide that policy that much because we around 140 million people have to decide in a different way. We all are having our voice. That is why we are able to stand in that globalization. If we talk about anything, and UAE, all those things are just depend on one or two sources where these things will collapse, these things problem will arise, they will have to face. But in the democracy, we have faced so many things. After that, we have evolved at that level. Next question, as Sir has asked about this, and what happened? These things that Trinamool Congress and BJP things are coming. These are things are coming into limelight just because democracy is there. If it wouldn't have a democracy, people would have killed. Nobody would have known about these things. Because in autocracy, a single Raj is there. The person who is saying the kind of, you might have seen about the kind of atrocities used to happen. Yes, Avanasar, please.
Okay, one point I have already given that in most of the countries where democracy is there, we can see the a particular family is in power, be it India or Pakistan. We can see a particular family was in power since long time. But apart from that, we can see that the role of the opposition should be constructive. In democracy, it is said in the books, but it is never on ground. We have seen that the farm laws were made like it came into the picture after a long. discussion, and mostly we read about it that it is those farm laws were very much helpful for the development of the farming sector. But what happened? The opposition misinformed the people and they started protesting against it. The same thing happened at the time when the bill of that CAA
Yes.
was passed. Even CAA bill was like this, that those people who are already residing in our country, they migrated from the neighboring countries and they are the persecuted people. So they are residing in our country. For them, we made a law. But a lot of politicians who claimed that they are the IITians and they have passed the civil services examination, they were speaking on the national televisions and they were misinforming the people that how you are going to handle the people who are going to come to our country. But actually, the law was made that those people who are already residing in our country at a particular date, there was a closing date. After that, if somebody comes to our country, we are not going to entertain this. So I'm giving this particular information because opposition plays a role which is like a hurdle. They are not playing a constructive role since the time I am watching our country. So it shows that the democracy is a process where the development is already impaired. It cannot get a boost.
Sir, I do agree with the point, those points which you have inculcated. Vinod sir, you have a question or you, Vinod sir?
I think we have gone long. He just raised his hand and
Yes, sir,
came
I
back.
wanted to ask the same thing. I did not, the time I did not explain this. These the autocracy governments, they are very well in the taking the decision and the very well in communication. But we will see in the democracy, we have a coalition government. They are not able to take a decision. Sometimes we are though not able to govern the nation, in a so long time, or as well as that they are not able to cover their 5 years during the coalition government. Many times we have seen
Sir, I do agree
that
with the
time
both the DN sir.
the
Okay, yes,
policies
please sir.
the policies and other like employments and our states in a country, they are hampered due to that.
I do agree with you, sir, both the sir, dear sir, and also you have raised a concern that I do agree. It is a concern that sometimes it happens, coalition government is there, sometimes opposition is not playing that constructive role in the development of a nation. But what I would say in the support of democracy, these things we are able to do. We are able to do a protest. We are able to raise our voice. Opposition is there. These are the benefits of our system. Because what used to happen, if you see in other countries where this autocracy is there, if there someone is making noise against them or someone is raising their voice, they are just beheaded. They are not able to raise their voices because they are not known, and there is no free system is there, no free press is there. Judicial system is just for nominal laws and things are there because it is whatever the king is wanting, those things are happening. So if you see, just just to please one person, things are being done. There is no kind of such development are there. If person is good, then development will be done. But if person is ideal, person is loving to the country, then these things will be done. But if the person is having different mindset, these things will not be done. Only atrocities, only say hinsa and all those things will happen. These things are just a chance. But if you talk in a democracy, yeah, it can be slow, it can be having different aspects, but people, that government will work for the development only. In coalition government is there can't be a rule which is only what to say advanting a single kind of state. It has to take all the points. It has to make, if any policy, any scheme is made, all the points should be needed because there is an involvement of whole the country, whole whether it's Punjab, whether it's a northeast, whether it's the upside on the side. These things should be inculcated in our scheme so that we can make things in a better way. It can be a slow process because, but there is a guarantee things will be done in a right way.
Okay, thank you. It was good, like you try to explain it nicely that at least in democracy the power is in hands of the people. After a time, they have chance to change the government, to change the king. But in case of autocracy, if the king is good, that is fine. If somebody bad comes to the throne, he will take the country. to a different corner.